Week 1 is by far the hardest, and if you made it through the first 6 days of no contact, even if you're just listening to this today and this is your first day, I want you to know you're doing amazing because you started. You are already stronger than you think. This first week, it's not about perfection, it's about survival. Remember that you don't have to change the world. Just don't leave it the same. So live fully, love deeply, and laugh hard. But I want to recap what the first week simply would look like, right? Because the first week isn't about perfection, it's about survival. And the point of this podcast is to just review what the last 6 days or a week look like, which all those videos that I broke down. So if you haven't heard it or watched it, go and check it out. It's on my YouTube channel, same as my social media handle, Peace of Deece, PeaceofDeace on YouTube, to get those full videos that I'm dropping every single day with journal prompts every single day, as well as the videos give you really deep insight each and every single day to hold your hand through those 30 days of detox. I don't really like calling it 30-day no contact, but it is a common term, so that's why I'm utilizing it. But in actuality, I want us to reframe it and get used to calling it a 30-day detox rule. The first 24 hours is the hardest, right? Because that's where the silence sets in. That's where the urges are the strongest, and that's where the silence feels heavy. The urge to call, to text, feels the strongest here. The goal for the first day, the first days, is to delay the impulses, to sit in that space when you feel the urges. Set a timer, write it down. Pray instead of reaching out. Instead of reaching out, reach inward. Channel that energy somewhere that's therapeutic and beneficial to you. Day 2 is the dopamine detox. You miss them, it might feel like love, when in actuality, it's simply withdrawal, right? You miss them, but you're simply missing the chemical dopamine from their attention. You liked how they reached out to you. You liked how they called your name. You liked how they show up in some way, shape, or form in your life. That was the dopamine hit. And notice that it's a craving, right? And I want you to reframe it. Replace the hit with something else. Someone left a comment that really hit and I responded to it, but I want to reiterate it and mention it here because I know somebody else. If someone had the courage to ask that question and leave a comment, somebody else felt it. And that's why I want to say it here for somebody that needs this. They said, that dopamine hit, how do I stop it? I responded saying, you don't stop it, you replace it with something healthier. Whether it's a walk, drinking water, meditating, praying, journaling. Find something else. Finding a friend that you can just talk on the phone to at least temporarily pivot that energy elsewhere. I've been that friend, that supportive friend, where somebody just called me all the time and I was there to kind of offer that emotional support, essentially kind of replacing who their previous partner was. They weren't attaching themselves to me, but they were processing and working through the process of reaching out to me in that therapeutic sense. So being able to do that, replace the hit with something, movement, journaling, prayer, music, right? That was day 2. Day 3 is catching the trigger versus the story. The coffee shop, the song that reminds you of them, the perfume or cologne that the stranger is wearing that reminds you of them. That's the trigger, right? But the spiraling, that emotional reaction where it sends you back, where you feel the pain like it happened all over again, that's the story you tell yourself based off of that trigger. It's like looking at it from this perspective. Another person can look at that same coffee shop, that same snack, that same scent of perfume or cologne and not have any type of response or reaction to it. There's nothing special about that coffee shop or that song or that scent. You made it special by the story or the memory you attached to it. So by combating it and saying, you know what? It's just a coffee shop. It's just a scent. It's just cologne. You minimize that impact that thing has on you. And you start catching the story and extinguishing it with the truth that it's really not that special. You're making it that special, right? Practicing writing down the triggers, right? Writing the story you tell yourself about it and then rewriting it with the truth. That perfume reminds me of them. I'm not sure if I'll ever see them again. I got rejected. I'm not good enough versus that's just perfume. It smells good. Awesome. It reminds me of flowers. Cool. Plain and simple. Try to catch it and leave it right there. Day 4 is realizing that you often don't miss the person, you miss the routine. Human beings are habitual creatures. So recognizing that the morning, good morning text, right? The good night text, the being on FaceTime, having someone to call when you have good news. All of those things are part of the routine, your automatic response that you have to break those patterns and cycles, not by ending them, but by changing them. What feels like missing them is often just missing the comfort of the habit. So create new habits, new rituals, new routines, morning walks, journaling, reading scripture, anchoring yourself in a new rhythm, your own rhythm, a redefined, reframed, revitalized rhythm that includes you, that energy that you get to pour back into you. Day 5 is why no contact is an act of love for you. Pulling away is not punishment, it's protection. Because as you chase them, reach out to them, pour into them, you're giving your energy to someone that didn't appreciate it. They don't get that from you. You give that energy to you, you take that back. Go for a walk. Pour into yourself, speak life into yourself, love yourself. Jay Shetty said this perspective the best, and I will say it here. He said, whatever you want from someone else, give it to yourself first. You want love from someone else, give it to yourself first. You want validation from someone else, give it to yourself. You want comfort, you want appreciation, usefulness, insert what that is. You want comfort, whatever it may be. Whatever that may be, give it to yourself first, because no matter who you get it from or the amount you get it from, it'll never be enough if you simply never gave it to yourself first. So with these habits, this no contact, all of these things is recognizing that you're pulling your energy back, you're protecting yourself, and you're pouring it into yourself. Daily affirmations. I'm not abandoning them, I'm choosing not to abandon myself. But we are so quick to say, you know what? I'm okay with losing myself because I don't want to lose them. Wow. I know you hear me, but are you listening? And day 6 is about withdrawing is proof of your healing. Just like detoxing from a substance, the discomfort is a sign that your nervous system is actually recalibrating, reframing, resetting. You had that addiction, that attachment, that association of that person meaning comfort, meaning peace, meaning love, when now you have to reframe and recalibrate and reprocess your own nervous system. So the journal prompt I want you to reflect on is, what am I learning about myself in the space where they used to be? So the question isn't, why am I still stuck? Why can't I move on? The real question is, why am I attached? How did they make me feel? What void were they filling that I can fill myself? That'll give you so much more clarity. And the piece of scripture that is the theme for this season, probably the theme of this month, is Bible verse Isaiah 43 verse 18 to 19. I already mentioned this in a previous video on YouTube, but I'm going to mention it here. I saw a lady leave a comment. She said, I had to change my ex's contact name to Isaiah 43 verse 18, 19. Because you know why? It says, forget the former things. That's the very first beginning. And that hit. I said, oh, when I actually read that comment, I said, oh, that hit. That was deep. Because you're using scripture to ground yourself. You're using scripture as a form of self-protection. It's not no contact. It's a detox. That's what it is. Throw no contact out the window. Throw the term no contact out the window, because it's not no contact. It's a detox. And that's what we're doing these 30 days. So back to the scripture. Isaiah 43 verse 18 to 19 says, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? God is not asking you to deny the pain. He's asking you not to dwell in it. Do not dwell on the past, he says, because the wilderness that you're in is where he is planting new beginnings. That's why he says, do you not perceive it? Now it springs up. So understand that. 3 journal prompts I want you to reflect on, okay? For this week, or wrapping up this week, reflect on this past week. Which day's teaching resonated with me the most this week? Journal prompt number 2 is, what trigger or craving hit me the hardest? And what story did I tell myself about it? Which false story did I tell myself about it? Which trigger or craving hit you the hardest? You know, checking the phones, no good morning texts, or maybe going on their social media so often, looking at old pictures, old text messages, whatever it may be, old spots. What drew or tugged on you the hardest? What was the hardest for you to not fall victim to, or maybe you fell victim to? And that's okay too. It's not a mistake, you're just learning, right? The growing pains. And lastly is, where do I see God already doing a new thing in my life? If you made it through week 1, I want you to take a moment and just celebrate that. And if this is your first day, be proud of yourself as this being the very first powerful step of you choosing you. Healing is not linear, but every single day of no contact, of detoxing, is a step back towards your peace. Take 5 minutes today to journal on the prompts I just shared. And if you want more guided support, more accountability, daily tools, Zoom calls, the community is here to walk alongside with you. Click on the link in the description. The community's name is Pieces to Peace, just like the podcast. There's a 7-day free trial, and I strongly recommend it. We have weekly, monthly webinars where it's like a lesson taught every single month. And then we have weekly Zoom calls where it's just literally a safe space for you to be reminded that you're not alone and get intentional support. So understand, week 1 of no contact technically is over if you've been following along. And if you just started, awesome. You don't have to, there's no race, there's no keeping up to do. You start exactly where you're at, hop on board, and come along for the ride. This is your first day? Awesome. Come along. This is your 60th day? Awesome. Come along and use the tools that we are here with. Use the tools that we're sharing with. And until tomorrow and next week with the next podcast, but I'm still dropping videos every day, understand that you don't have to change the world. Just don't leave it the same. So live fully, love deeply, laugh hard, and try to help someone. Or at the very least, don't hurt them. And I strongly recommend with you, starting with yourself. Love you so much from the bottom of my heart. Peace out. Peace from Dees.